Sisters,
we shall not yield to tyranny.
Our cause just we will prevail. The fight
Hello,
for our
Mr.
rights.
Buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this
Hello,
point,
history.
shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. I shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're a number one economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, you know, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty. This is what
so
American
freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is proper. Brothers
I
and
was
sisters.
working, man, you know, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, that's a lot of black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see that, man. So I'm...
Yo.
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real coach. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets heat over allegedly donating to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act.
Our supplies are low, but morale is high.
Then we fight for liberty.
Alpane's word captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
With
Welcome to my...
that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
To the encampment. For liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
Endures through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Our cause in
doing. I'm going to go out on the limb and say anybody that sits in that oval does not like Americans. They love United States, though, which is the politics, but they don't love the Americans. Americans are farmers. Americans are mechanics. Americans are school teachers. Americans are mom and pop businesses.
And flaming! Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, you know, my people that's allies with us, as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
People see my physique and assume I'm just some dumb Chad. But in reality, I graduated 5th in my law school class, magna cum laude. I got awards for getting the highest grade in my class in constitutional law, criminal law, and legal analysis and writing. I knew I was the smartest I'd ever been in my life.
The cause to victory.
to victory. These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.
Out to him was via text message after I had resigned and he had been attacking me, and I was receiving just, I can't even count how many death threats. And, but the death threats escalated on one of my children. And I had sent those death threats to the FBI director, Kash Patel. I sent them to the vice president, J.D. Vance, Susie Wiles, James Blair, and I even texted the president. And I was so upset over death threats on my children because of him. And the quotes and the death threat were from what the president had been calling me a traitor. And I'm not a traitor to my country. Standing up for rape victims doesn't make me a traitor. And I reached out to the president and to let him know this is what's happening because what you're saying about me. And he was very unkind about these death threats. And so that was our last exchange.
What did he say to you?
He basically blamed me. He had no compassion for death threats on my children. He blamed me basically that if my son were to get killed, it would be my fault.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. And I said back to him, I said, no one's children should ever be the victim of death threats or have any kind of political violence brought on them because of our politics, because of our disagreements. He had no compassion whatsoever.
What do you feel about that? I mean, you knew Donald Trump very well. You were very close to him. You were very friendly, supportive, and so on. To reach that point in your relationship, how do you feel about that?
I thought that tells me exactly who. It's like a nail in the coffin. It tells me exactly who Donald Trump is. Some of my biggest political enemies would never say that to me. Democrats that I may have had disagreements with in Congress would have never said that to me. No one's ever said those type of words to me. I don't know what kind of person basically has no compassion or care to someone's child being threatened to be killed. It's unimaginable, really.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Kim.
I'm Kamal.
It's Mia.
I'm Joe.
And tonight on the new party, we have two guests that have come on to the show, John Jackson and Trey Dunk Live. We're going to start with John. John, let everybody know where they can find you and about your content.
Yeah, so thanks. So you can find me on Twitter and TikTok mainly for now. I'll be expanding into other platforms soon. Instagram too, at His Goes Cobra, and that's my username across everything. Substack too. Yeah, and so ex-trial lawyer, fought in the Ukrainian infantry, 2023 through 2024, and my content focuses on. I'm a former Republican, been Democrat for like the last, I don't know, ever since a couple years before January 6th. So I focus on current events, foreign policy, geopolitical issues, pretty much, domestic and foreign.
John, thank you for coming. I'm excited to ask you some questions tonight. Trey, welcome to the new party. Thank you for coming. Let everybody know about your content and where they can find you.
So yeah, I'm Trey Dunk, live on all platforms, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I do mostly reaction videos, so react to most viral videos on the internet, mostly from YouTube. I do mostly some political, mostly culture videos though. body cam, whatever it is. I cover every topic on the reactions.
Nice. That's kind of what we do here, Trey. We do reactions to the top political and entertainment stories. So thank you guys for coming. I'm excited to get to know all of you. But our first topic tonight is, what did Trump say today? So in that first clip, we heard poor Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the most loyal Trump supporters, I think, ever. Kamal, what did you think when you heard what President Trump said to her?
Ooh, shit. It's a dirty game, ain't it? God damn. I mean, who worse, the mob or a damn Trump? He out here like talking about our kids like that though. That's kind of effed up though. I gotta say that. I'm the one that be like, I'll draw a line with the kids, man. Leave the kids out the shit at all costs. Leave the kids out the shit unless they're adults at that point. If they're adults, then I don't give a fuck. But if they like kids, you feel me? Like, leave them out, man. And damn, have Marjorie Taylor Greene shook. I never thought in my life I would see this woman shook like that. She was scared, y'all. She was scared. God damn. The shit is crazy, man. Where the MAGA folks at, man? We got to hear from y'all, the intel, because this shit is insane.
Well, Trump said, fuck them kids, okay? He said, you called me a traitor. He said, you ain't gonna put them files out. So fuck them kids. Excuse me, that's my French, but I could literally imagine what Trump had said on the phone to her. Now, I'm not saying I agree with it, but Trump also said some really crazy stuff this week, guys. This is what he had to say about the high gas prices.
How much longer will Americans continue to see these high gas prices?
Well, they're not very high. If you look at what they were supposed to be in order to get rid of a nuclear weapon with the danger that entails. So the gas prices have come down very much over the last 3-4 days. I know, you know, and that's what ABC says. But the fact is that if you look at the stock market's up, everything's doing really well.
So we're going to go first to somebody that lives in California. Kimberly, how high is them damn gas prices? Where are we at in California right now?
I think I filled up for my tank. I filled it up with like almost $90. It used to be like $55. That's so crazy. But honestly, these world leaders are not good leaders. I think it's a sign of weakness when you are patronizing rather than just, hey, you know what? This is how it is. This is how it's going to be. We saw it with Obama too. He was always so patronizing. It's insulting. You're supposed to be a leader. You should lead. And this isn't helping anybody feel better. Gaslighting us isn't helping us feel better. My homie Scheinbaum is doing the same thing in Mexico. She also tends to like gaslight people. So it's not just him. He's just probably the worst at it because of how he says it. Like, it's fine, everything's fine. But no, it's not. Gas is really fucking expensive. It's really fucking expensive. I've been thinking twice about driving all over the world like I like to, because I like to go camping and stuff. But everything's going up. I just went grocery shopping right now. I didn't buy much. It was like $60 for one dinner and some snacks. It was crazy. So yeah, we need real leaders, please. I can't hear you, Nora.
Are you muted?
He said he doesn't care about the high gas prices. The world is safer and you better accept it. But this was Kamala seizing upon the opportunity to talk about gas prices.
So I'm here in Charlotte since the start of Trump's war of choice. It's $15 more every time you fill up your tank of gas. The price of diesel has now gone up 80% since the start of the war. And you best believe that's going to carry over to how much you're paying for all the goods that are being transported on those semis. We've got a president who is paying more attention to what he thinks is in his best political interest and personal interest as opposed to what is in the best interest of working people in America.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so I want to get a Democrat in here. John, what do you think about the video that she put out here? Do you think she's making a play to run in 2028, or do you think she has valid points that we should care about the high gas prices?
So no, I don't think she's making a play. I think it's totally legitimate. And I can tell you, someone who has combat experience and has worked with, in the most complex war to date in our history, in Ukraine for, years and still supports units over there. This is literally the dumbest war that America has ever started. There was no imminent threat. There was no reason to go over there right now. He did not see that the most obvious things that Iran would do, which is close the Strait of Hormuz and attack economic targets all across the Persian Gulf region, that he said he didn't even think they would do that. The fact is, he said last year that nuclear program was obliterated. 20% of the world's oil is there. But more importantly than that, there's a lot of things that people don't think about that are made in the Persian Gulf region. 35% of the world's helium. Why does that matter? It's not just for balloons. You need helium to make superconductors and silicon, which is what we need for AI data centers. Our economy, more of a larger percentage of our GDP is based upon AI buildouts and AI investment than it is on consumer spending. So in this globalized economy, everything is interconnected. Even though we're a net exporter of oil, the fact is we don't manufacture anything here. We buy it from where? Taiwan, from Vietnam, from China, and it's going to affect them the most. So this is cascading across. High oil prices even affect interest rates on mortgage loans. And she does have a good point. And if this war, I'm telling you, like, this war is something that is incredibly dangerous. If you look at a map of the infrastructure in the Persian Gulf region, there's 100 million people who rely upon desalination plants to get drinking water. And those are fragile plants above ground. If we attack them, if Donald Trump follows through on his threats to commit war crimes by wiping out all the power plants, turning out the lights on 93 million people, including neonatal ICUs, old folks' homes, schools, hospitals, all that, Iran will retaliate, and you have 100 million refugees without drinking water in the desert overnight. So she's understating it, if anything, in my opinion. This is a very dangerous road that we're going down. I hope he reaches a settlement. There's no way to reopen the Strait of Hormuz without ground troops, like 50 to 70,000. And, we're in a position, we're in a box. There's nothing else we can do except for ground invasion or, nuclear weapons, which he's obviously not going to do, I hope. So I think she's understating it.
So Trey, I see you shaking your head. What's your thoughts on all of this? I know you said that if you could, let me ask you this. Without getting too personal, why didn't you vote? You said to me, if I could have voted, I would have voted for Trump. Then why did you not vote?
I mean, because both parties, they have things that I just don't agree with. Like the war would have been happened if Kamal was the president. That would have happened day one, first couple of weeks. We already know that. Trump took a little longer. I feel like, we know where he got the pressure from. The economy was slowing down. They needed, I don't know, they need to sell some weapons, make some money from selling these weapons. That's what I didn't want, the troops on the ground. That's why I started shaking my head. That's what I really hope Trump wouldn't take it there, like put troops on the ground. I hope he would just, fly by and, drop bombs and get in and out, and they would open it back up eventually. But it's looking like we pissed them off too bad, and they ready to take it to whatever level they need to take it to at this point. Yeah.
I mean, we killed 1, 2, like 8 leaders.
Yeah, back to back.
And the guy and the leader and his grandbaby.
One thing, if you don't let me just add in on real quick, if you don't mind, is there's an important parallel here. Okay, so the Iran-Iraq war, they had just had the 1979 revolution in Iran, and they looked weak. Saddam Hussein thought they were weak, right, in Iraq, just like Donald Trump and Israel saw the Iranian regime with the protests. They thought they were weak. Well, guess what happened? Iraq, with a superior army that had a 5-to-1 advantage in tanks, helicopters, everything. They invaded and they attacked Iran. That war lasted 8 years, and Iran absorbed 1.5 million casualties, and they didn't make a dent. They gained no territory. These people will fight, and the people we killed that first day, the people that are now taking control in the regime are all people who fought in the Iran-Iraq war, people who volunteered, people who saw chemical weapons used against them. These are tough people, and it is a really difficult country to invade. They have 18,000-foot mountains pretty much all around. So just something to think about who the tenacity of the Iranian regime, which doesn't represent the people.
Trump said you shouldn't worry. He has a deal. Let's watch.
The thing we have to do is we have to make sure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, because if they do, you want to talk about problems, you'd have problems. So very important is that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, and they've agreed to that. Iran's agreed to that, and they've agreed to it very powerfully. They've agreed to give us back the nuclear dust that's way underground because of the attack we made with the B-2 bombers. So we have a lot of agreement with Iran, and I think something's going to happen very positive.
So Mia, where's the deal? He says there's a deal. Me and you, shout out to Mia. We've gone to BBC. We commented. You know, this is what Trump likes to do. He likes these imaginary deals. Is there a deal, or is this like what he's being fed?
There's no deal. There's no deal because Israel is going to annex half of Lebanon. So there's no deal. The Iranians have already come out and they have already stated that essentially Israel has to stop their assault in Lebanon in order for them to even agree to anything. And Israel's not going to. It is, for me, it's all just ridiculous at this point in time. I mean, he does nothing but lie. Honestly, I get better info from the Lego propaganda videos than I do the media. At least the Lego videos are telling the truth. I be fact checking them and I'm like, man, they hit every time. I'm like, man, they ain't lying. I ain't found a single lie in a Lego video at this point in time. They really are. They don't lie about anything, which is so crazy to me because I know it's propaganda. And I'm like watching propaganda. I'm like, wow. They be telling the truth about everything. This is crazy. I mean, the whole thing, it's all smoke and mirrors. You got to look at what
that's a good
is happening. I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. They're all lying. I mean, Israel wants what Israel wants. They want the Greater Israel Project to go through. They're not stopping anytime soon. And we're going to give them more weapons. We're going to give them bulldozers. We're going to give them like another $120 million worth of cash for them to continue their assaults and their genocide in Gaza and soon to be their genocide in Lebanon, because we have over 100,000, if not more, people that are now displaced. A lot of them Christians that can never now go back to that annexed piece of land that they just so happen to steal from them. And there's no reparations. You know, Israel's not going to give those people reparations for their homes, their land, or anything like that. They're just taking and then hoping that the rest of Lebanon can absorb those people.
800,000 displaced. And this is an image coming out of Gaza yesterday of what journalists are now reporting. Makes you wonder why they killed 200 of them. Let's watch.
Just ended. What does the situation on the ground look like now?
Well, I am standing in Shuhada al-Aqsa Hospital, which is located in Deir al-Balah in southern Gaza. And this is where basically the Israeli military asked Gazans to evacuate. And what we are witnessing right now is whole families, children, women arriving to the hospitals. The Israeli warplanes attacked, airstriked a home that belonged to Abu Jbara family located in Deir al-Balah in southern Gaza. We saw whole families. I myself saw children, at least 10 children under the age of 5 with their heads cut off, their bodies. If you can see around me, we can still see the ambulances arriving to the Shuhada al-Aqsa Hospital, mostly women, mostly children. I mean, this is undescribable. This is like a massacre. The number that was published from the Palestinian Health Ministry is that the death toll here in Gaza is up to 2,215 Palestinians. But me standing right here in the hospital, I can clearly tell you that the number is going up.
Anyways, I play that clip to remind everyone of what's going on in Gaza. Yesterday, the Congress took a vote. It did not pass. The resolution was to prevent any further money being sent to Israel. Gray, as somebody that actually served and went to go to Iraq, what's your thoughts? Should we continue to fund Israel? And what do you think about the vote?
As far as continue to fund Israel, I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I know people are upset about that, but I don't know what dealings they have with Israel and why they may want to keep that relationship. Obviously, war is bad. People losing their lives. No, nothing about that is good. Trump is making his own plan with this. I obviously don't agree with it. I didn't vote for Trump, but what I saw interesting on the clip is that there's I think it was Piers Morgan, and the guy was interviewing him, and he was saying, "Oh, you guys are killing Jews." He was like, no, we're not killing Jews. We're killing Israelis. So it's the state of Israel that we're upset about. It's not a religious war. It's basically based on colonialism. So I'm not sure that's up to the politicians.
So, Jeff, do you pay taxes?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so as somebody that pays taxes, the whole reason why we, left Britain is because taxation without representation. We want to know where our money's going to. We want to know why it's going and how it benefits us. So I'm going to ask the same question to you. Do you think we should continue to send money to Israel? And of your pay grade, you don't want. We don't.
Nor you're freezing.
It's Israel. Israel ain't playing.
I know. It happens every time we talk about that, man. I'm waiting for my screen to come up.
Hey, much fire.
Every time. Every time. We can't talk. It's like they're like witches. We can't talk about them.
You're still froze, but Jeff, you heard what she said?
I understand it enough, yeah. I mean, she set me up well enough to. She makes a valid point. Basically we're going through the second revolution of taxation without representation by paying to Israel. Let's be honest. There's, so that's my stance, and Nora set it up pretty well despite the freezing and glitching. But anytime I post on TikTok about Israel and the Jews, and it flops, if I try to delete it and re-edit it, if you guys know what I'm talking about on TikTok,
yeah,
it just goes away. It just never comes back. It just completely deletes. It's like only when I make a post against Israel. But if I make
it happened to me too recently. Like, I mean, and there's things too, like even beyond Gaza, it's like, it's not even just like, I know some people like, in still working in the intelligence services or former vets. And it's like that new death penalty law. Okay. Where it makes a distinction based upon a national origin. If you're Palestinian, you can get executed for a crime. But if you're Israeli, you can't. That's even worse than the law that our Supreme Court said was unconstitutional in 1972. I mean, and then like they get stuck in a military tribunal. They don't get a jury. I mean, it's like all of it, and it's automatic. Then you look at the West Bank. That's a violation of the Geneva Convention to resettle there. Article 49, Section 6. So it's not just one thing. It's like boom, 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 boom. That's daylight bombings like that. And let me just say one more thing as someone who, look, in the Ukraine war, I was infantry, and I can tell you that I fought all over the front there, and like, the amount of journalists, I don't know if we've killed any journalists, and we've put them. That's a big ass war. There's, in my sector, there was 130,000 Russian troops. I could see them on the map. We've caused 1 million Russian casualties over there. We still have, and fought in all kinds of cities, Bakhmut, Sloviansk, all over the place. We haven't killed any journalists, and they've killed.
Yeah, no, I think it's like one or two.
Yeah, it's like one or two on accident, right?
I compared it because when it first came out, when they had like double tapped that one building, I was shocked with how many journalists were unalived. So I'd researched it.
And I didn't know, like, I was in Kherson when they blew that dam up, and all the water came in, and then they were shooting at us, and we were like rescuing. Let's put like cats, old ladies, dogs out of the water for like, and I look at it and I'm like, the amount of journalists that have been killed. I mean, that's just like a big sign for me. I don't know. That was intentional.
John, were you? I was a former lawyer too. I'm actually Ukrainian, which is funny.
Oh shit! Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. So what did you? Were you a military lawyer or what?
No, I did consumer protection as a civil lawyer and just civil litigation, and then I went over there and I was in the 130th Territorial Defense Force in a quick reaction unit that went all over the front, and I still support units over there that work everywhere from the Black Sea all the way up north. So, cool. For sure, man.
Nora, did you see before we move on, did you see the video of the leader of South Korea posted about the IDF soldiers dragging people and throwing them off the roof?
No, I didn't see that one. Send it to me.
Yeah, and I'll tag you in it and on X. But yeah, no, the leader of South Korea was like, even he was like, "What's going on here?" And you clearly see IDF soldiers dragging civilians and throwing them off the roof, regardless if they're dead or alive. I mean, they're literally taking people and throwing them off the roof. And to my knowledge, that is again a war crime. You're not supposed to desecrate deceased persons, you're supposed to return them back to their land of origin. And we have them dead to rights on video doing these things. And even if they're alive, it's even worse. Now you're just taking people and they're like yeeing them off the roofs now.
Right. I mean, yeah, I have an interesting clip. We're going to move on to what Pete Hegseth said, and then we're going to play some clips regarding what happened. A lot of countries are speaking out right now, but to like give everyone a little laugh, Pete Hegseth, he's so funny, and you guys may recognize what he said. Let's go.
So the prayer is CSAR 25:17, and it reads, and pray with me, please.
Kamal, what do you think about what you just saw? Did you have a nice little laugh? Did it remind you of something?
Man, first of all, man, shout out to our great Black American brother Samuel L. Jackson. You feel me? One of the greatest actors out there. Second of all, I do have to ask, because I don't know, is that a Bible verse? Because it sounds very Bible verses. Is it? I don't know. It sounds like it.
Or aren't you a pastor? You not gonna answer?
It's me?
Me.
Oh. Is it?
They botched
it. A Bible verse? Or?
I'm letting Jeff speak.
Sorry, yeah, they botched it. It's not a true Bible verse, but the telltale sign is that Pete just repeated the Pulp Fiction.
Oh, Kelly said it is.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but the Pulp Fiction version isn't the actual Bible verse.
So he kind of remixed it, basically. That's what you're saying, Jeff.
That's what Kelly said. She's like, it's remixed. I love that. We don't plagiarize. We reorient things so it's not plagiarism.
Man, hey, Pete Hegseth, man, at least change a word or two, bro. God damn. He watched Pulp Fiction the night before and was like, yeah, I like this. I'm using this in my speech immediately.
Yeah. I mean, Pete Hegseth cannot be serious, but hey, you have to support what's going on. And this is what Poland had to say, because Pete Hegseth said this is a religious war and we're supporting, and this is what's going on.
Ataki Izraela na Bliskim Wschodzie odczuwają już Polacy w cenach paliwa, ale jak odczuwają to dzieci, których zginęło już kilkadziesiąt razy więcej niż podczas całej wojny na Ukrainie. Otóż i pali je od środka. Flaga powinna wyglądać dokładnie tak.
Dziękuję. Pan poseł Maciej Konieczny koło.
I don't know. I thought I had the English version, but basically he compared Israel to the Third Reich. He's saying that they are now the new Third Reich. They've now taken over. Mia, did you see that clip, and what's your thoughts?
I did see that clip. I saw it on X. And I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference in 2026 between what the Israeli government is doing to Gaza, to Lebanon, and all sorts of other people in the Middle East to compare to what happened to the Ashkenazi Jews in Germany, Poland, and Russia? Like, what's the difference? They're stealing their stuff. They're taking their land. They are segregating them, subjugating them. They're asking them to they're not wearing stars anymore, but they have to wear bracelets in order to travel. I mean, they're evicting them. They're murdering them. I mean, what is the difference? I mean, I guess they don't have gas chambers now, but they have bombs. That must be like 2026 is equivalent to gas chambers as missiles. But I mean, there really isn't any difference between what the Israeli government is doing and what happened to the Ashkenazi Jews back in the 1940s.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you said it. That wasn't the only clip that went trending this week. Although that came out, we supposedly have a ceasefire deal as well right now. Let's watch.
Breaking news to get to here. That is that President Trump has announced on Truth Social that he has invited Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as well as the president of Lebanon, to the White House for their, quote, first meaningful talks between Israel and Lebanon since 1983. Let's go ahead and read out the full statement. In addition to the statement just issued, I will be inviting the Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, to the White House for the first meaningful talks between Israel and Lebanon since 1983, a very long time ago. Both sides want to see peace, and I believe that will happen quickly. President Donald J. Trump.
Trey, so I know you said that if you could have voted, you possibly were leaning towards voting for Trump. What is your thoughts on this historic deal? Do you think that we will see an end of the war? And what do you think about all? Because I know you do reactions to videos. What do you think about all the images that you've seen come out of the Middle East so far?
I just want to say these are some prideful people. They are not backing down. They are like, so I don't see them agreeing to any deal with Israel, honestly. If Israel just wants to agree to a deal where they get their absolute total way, and I don't see Lebanon bowing down to Israel just to save a couple lives, and I want to go back to what Mia said. It's a little different because they have the opportunity to fight back a little more. So that's why Israel keeps feeling like they have the I guess reason to do what they're doing, because they weapons of mass destruction, all this terrorist attacks they're supposedly getting and stuff like that. So they feel like they're I'm losing the word, but they feel like they're legitimate in what they're doing, but is really not gonna go anywhere anytime soon. I feel like it's been going on for 40 plus years. I don't know how long, but overly. So I don't see a stop to it anytime soon. I wish America would back out of it now that he's saying troops on the ground and we're not gonna get this deal with Iran that Trump supposedly has in the works. I just don't see it coming to a stop anytime soon. Gas price is gonna keep going up. We got 2 more years of this, and then Kamala might have a chance to come back and win. Honestly, if Trump keep at this rate, Kamala might be able to run and win.
No, she's drunk, yo. You showed that video clip, and my first thought is she's drunk. This cannot be the best that we have to offer. I'm sorry, there has to be better.
Get it. When
Kamala's in Israel.
George Floyd got killed, she called into CNN. I gotta find that clip, y'all. We'll play it. We'll play it in May when we talk about George Floyd again. But when he got killed, she called in. I was like, is she drunk? And at the time, I liked Kamala. Let me be clear. And I'm like, she's drunk. She was drunk. Like, bro, she would be so drunk right now. But I also think Pete Hegseth is drunk every time he talks to. Let me be fair. It's not just
because he is.
Because he is.
He is. He has to be.
Oh Lord. But yeah, I agree with you. This can't be the best. Trey, I mean, I do think the Democrats take a chance. Yeah. We can hear you.
I'm gonna get out and come back in.
Okay.
I just want to say Israel is a modern day Third Reich. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna have you go next. When you come back, I'll have you go.
I'm glitching
out.
out.
I had just whenever it's good. there's a unique thought that I had about this Israel thing. So when you have a chance, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it just popped in my head. I grew up in Atlanta, right? In the shadow of Martin Luther King, one of the big heroes of mine. And when I was thinking about Ben Gvir, I think he's the defense minister, but he's one of the hard right people in Netanyahu's cabinet. He was popping champagne after they passed that racist death penalty law in the Knesset, in their legislature. And then he did a video where he was in front of the gallows, where they had the rope where they hang people behind them. And he was bragging about how we put the Palestinians in here. And it made me think, how the Jim Crow South, they would have white bathroom and it would say, and I'm going to say the word, I know it's colored just to be historically accurate, right? And they would separate the bathrooms by race, black or colored or a bathroom or water fountain and white water fountain or a bathroom, right? And I was thinking to myself, that's the sign they're going to have over the damn death penalty chamber, right? It'll say Palestinians only, and it's just reminding me of the Jim Crow South. And I and if you were to take, if you look, the kind of places that really thought to me about where you have a law where it's only this person of this religion or this race or this nationality can get executed. That's the kind of things the Nazis did. They had laws like that. Okay. Really, and that's just a fact. It's a
John, you should go debate Older Millennial on this. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
You should go have a discussion with him. He attacked Kim over here because all Kim said was, "What did you say that Jesus was a pacifist?" And he was like, "Oh, you're what do he call you? He called you a Zoomer."
Are we talking about
your friend?
My Italian friend or the millennial one?
The millennial one.
Oh,
the millennial one.
He's my friend too. I said there's no logical defense of the state of Israel. And he made a completely illogical response. And then I made a logical response to his video. Am I glitching out?
No, you sound good.
No, you're good.
My computer has never fucking done this. And I'll show you a video later. Israel is a modern day Third Reich. Fuck you guys. Okay, so then I made a response, and then he made another response. And I made a whole, because he only clipped the part where I said Israel's an apartheid state. Come on. Of course they fucking are. So that's what
He said he never heard of the term ethno state before. That was the other thing.
I said ethno religious,
Yeah.
and he said that that's not true. But then in his response, he kind of conceded the point. So anyways, I made this whole note with citations, and I cited specifically just Jewish and Israeli, like legit sources. And I was going to make a video of it, but honestly, it would take too long. And it's already been like 2 weeks, and I don't give a fuck what he thinks. Israel's an apartheid state.
Yeah, he peed on himself during the DUI arrest anyway, so.
Yeah.
But he has a hat now that says 7,000 Club. He says he's a proud Zionist. He says he's going over to Israel. I don't know when the trip's supposed to be. He's supposed to be going on those trips.
That is so
crazy.
How much are they paying? Because we can all pretend. I mean, gas
Where's
prices
the
are high.
check?
We can all
Yeah.
pretend. I'm not beyond being a grifter for the right amount of money. I mean, I'm just saying, my loyalty can't be bought. These bills need to be paid.
Yeah. Am I glitching out, or can you guys hear me fine?
You're good. You're good.
No, you good.
All right.
Hold on, wait a minute, Kimberly. Hold on. Hey, check. Can we send some money to GoFundMe at this point? We gotta get Kimberly a new computer. God damn.
I have a MacBook. I have a MacBook Pro. This has never happened, but if Israel wants to pay me $7,000 a week, I'll do a better job than my friend Millennium. Please give me that Barry Weiss money all day.
You know, they're the new MAGA. I watched an interesting video about that saying Barry Weiss, people like older millennial, who's that ugly, weird lady with the cheekbones that
Laura
we talk shit
Loomer.
about? Thank you. Her, Laura Loomer, and a couple other people are like the new MAGA. And I'm like, not really, though, because they're already part of a certain religion. So, like, can they, like, I mean, it's like a little crew of them. What do you mean? Like, this is crazy. But I guess they're the new MAGA. So if we don't listen to them and support them, then, you know.
Yeah, they are.
We're anti-Semites.
They're really upset over Hungary because Peter Magyar right away, he was like, he's kind of leading the way about like how we need to like disassemble all the corruption in government. You know, this guy, and I don't mean to go off topic, but it just makes because like CPAC was getting paid by the Hungarian state taxpayer. And we're going to find out over the next couple of days, based on some reporters I know, some investigative journalists,
Really?
of people in MAGA who were getting paid by Hungarian taxpayer money, also some Russian stuff. And I'm telling you, like, he didn't have his own political party. He had to create that from scratch, right? And he didn't get to go on TV except once in 18 months. Now, can you imagine if like I created like a resurrected like the Whig Party or some other independent party, and I had to go, I wasn't allowed on TV for the entire election and still won? That guy's really talented, and it's a real pathway. And he's like disassembling all the corruption, all the TV stations that are owned by Orban's party, you know, and it's really interesting to watch that happen.
Well, that's probably because they think that they can worship Trump. Let's hear what this GOP member had to say about Trump.
Trump is better than sliced bread. I think he's almost the second coming, in my humble opinion. I think he's done a fantastic job. He's got a very difficult job. Pope's got a tough job, got issues in the church. But Donald Trump has a very, very difficult job to do, the toughest job in the world.
Gray, as somebody that grew up in the Baptist church, is Trump the second coming? Can you answer that question? I know you didn't want to answer about the Israel taxpayer, but is Trump the second coming? Do you know the answer to that?
First, my grandmother, my aunt had me in church. R.I.P. to my grandmother, God rest her soul. My mother never went to church ever. But as far as Trump being the second coming, we seeing all this blasphemous stuff that Trump is doing. We're seeing this stuff with the Pope. I was talking to somebody today that was religious, and Nora, you probably can speak on this. She was basically like, "Oh, Trump isn't the Antichrist because the Antichrist
isn't or is
isn't."
Oh, because
She
the
said the
Antichrist is
Antichrist,
charismatic.
and you can say if this is right or wrong. She said Antichrist is Middle Eastern. Trump is possibly the person that ushers in the Antichrist. So
How
I
would we
don't,
know that the Antichrist is Middle Eastern? The Revelations doesn't say that.
I don't know. This is religious people saying this. I don't,
I
but
don't, I don't think we can biblically affirm that there is an antichrist, but if it was, it is collectively American nationalist, right-wing, evangelical Christians.
I don't know, but I'm not going to say that.
I know Jesus
but I
wasn't
do-
white.
Jeff, you know the Bible pretty well. We've talked about that. What do you think about Gray's comment? Is the Antichrist real? Because Kim said no. He says that it's supposed to be a Middle Eastern person. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think the Antichrist is real. But I think
too.
I think two things can be true at once. I think Trump is extremely blasphemous. I think that's sacrilegious to any Christian believer. And then also, I just think that he may not be like, I don't think he himself is the Antichrist, but I think we're ushering in an era of that, unfortunately. Just everything that's going on. It just seems like that with just how the world is unfolding. I could sound crazy or something, but that's just what I'm seeing.
And also, Jeff, you're young. I think you're probably the youngest person here. This is what young men are believing right now. Let's watch.
Very much shifted away from Israel. Look at this. Net favorability of Israel among men under the age of 50. In 2022, not too bad, but not too hot to trot either at -3 points. By 2025, again, down we go, minus 22 points. That is a 19-point shift in just 3 years' time. But it gets even worse. Look at this for Israel. Minus 47 points. That's a 44-point shift away from Israel on the net favorability amongst young men who, of course, shifted massively into the Republican column back in 2024, and they have been shifting away from Israel over the last 4 years.
Kimberly, that older millennial called you a Zoomer. He thought you were Gen Z.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he's my friend, because he said I'm Gen Z. So I don't care what you guys say about him. He thinks I'm Gen Z. I'm at least 29, so he's my friend. But man, I mean, I love to see it. I love to see these points. Donald Trump's numbers are also really bad right now. I don't understand why this isn't so obvious to everybody, but I really do love to see the shift. I mean, I embrace everybody who's on this especially as a Christian. Zionism is not a real Christian belief. It is antithetical to everything that Christ stands for. So that to me is the ultimate blasphemy when you equate Zionism with Christianity, not just with Judaism. But I love to see the shift. Right now, Israel's using the illegal Dahiyya doctrine on Lebanon. We need to stop them right now. I honestly thought maybe I'm just like more positive, so I don't mean to be frustrated, but my laptop is cracked out right now and I'm really fucking annoyed. It's not a coincidence, but I'm not going to shut my mouth because I really thought that they would have banned the sales of the weapons by now. Like I thought.
Me too.
This is getting ridiculous. Like, what does it take? What does it need to take? What is it? What does it need to take? Because it's already bad. It's really bad. It's horrible. This isn't funny.
But you want to know what didn't pass today? What did pass today? We could not deport the Haitians. The irony. Fucking irony. The Republicans are in control. We will continue to give our money to genocide people. And again, I'm not trying. If you guys are happy with the Haitians being here, I'm not trying to offend. But think about that. Yeah. We're for, but I bet you we won't pass to bring in the people that they've displaced now. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's your cousins, right, Nora?
I am for the protected status of
which
Haitians.
Ones?
The whole
the
Haitians. Anyways, nothing against Haitians, but I'm half Jamaican. Let me just put that nothing against Haitians.
Haiti's a whole other conversation right there. Thanks, Hillary.
Haiti is. Let me say this too. Haiti is beautiful. I got to go there last year to the private island. It is very, very beautiful. Let me put that out there. They have mountains. This is no shade. But speaking of Haiti and cruises, we are going to talk about Carnival, guys. This is our fun, happy topic we're going to end on. Israel, you don't have to mess with our stream anymore. We're done with talking about you. We're gonna move on to the cruises. So California, this lady in California won. I'm gonna play this clip. She's gonna explain how she won her suit. And the lawyers on the call, I'm gonna need you to comment. So pay attention to the facts. Let's go.
Diana Sanders, she's a nurse from Northern California. She was a passenger on the Carnival Radiance. She was served 15 shots of tequila in about 8 hours. She woke up not knowing exactly how she got there at the bottom of the staircase in the crew area. Diana, tell us a little bit about your experience in the case and in the trial.
The case, waking up after blacking out and going to the crew and asking them for help and asking them to tell me what happened was extremely frustrating. They gave me conflicting information. They treated me like a criminal. I was very concerned that they wouldn't tell me exactly what happened to me. And so I went to get a lawyer so I could get those tapes and find out what happened, and come to find out they have all the tapes right before, but nothing afterwards, and they will not show us what happened that day.
What was it like for you taking on a corporate giant like Carnival? You spent 2 years litigating this case.
Yeah, I felt bullied. I felt like everything they did was to either mentally torment me or financially torment me. It was a lot for the last 2 years.
And how'd you feel when a Miami jury, it was 8 women from Miami, you're from California, when they returned the verdict in your favor after 5 days, how did that feel?
It felt amazing. First of all, I love Miami. I've had a great experience here with all the people, and so I was really happy when I saw the jury as my peers. And I felt like the whole time they saw right through what the defense was trying to do, how they tried to defame my character, things they brought up that had nothing to do with the case. They were just trying to criminalize, bully me, and make me look like a bad human being. It's hard to be because I'm a great person.
You are a lovely person. It's been a privilege to represent you. Over-service of alcohol cases are extremely difficult. Passengers have a responsibility to drink responsibly, but cruise lines also have a responsibility to serve responsibly. And when you serve somebody who's visibly intoxicated repeatedly, drink after drink after drink, it can lead to disastrous consequences. And I'm just thrilled for you that a jury was able to hear the story and to return a verdict in your favor. Justice prevails. And that's the case. My name's Spencer Ehrenfeld. I sue cruise lines like Carnival for a living.
Oh my God, so much to say. So I've been on like 20-something cruises, guys. Fun fact.
Oh
People
my
get lit.
God, Nora.
People get, well, yeah, I used to go 2-3 times a year before I had my kids. Like, let's go. Like, but anyways, people get lit. Mia, she's a nurse, as a fellow nurse, and I've also know about insurance and liability claims and things like that. This one takes the cake. As a nurse, what is your thoughts on everything you just heard? Should she have known her limit?
So I feel like I'm split because she's an adult. She should know her limit. I mean, she appears to be an adult. She appears to be at least 25 years of age. She appears to not be mentally ill or mentally handicapped. She's speaking in clear sentences. So she should have some personal responsibility over her body. However, I say that to caveat with, in the state that I live in, you cannot overserve. It's a felony, especially if this person ends up dead. They end up getting behind the vehicle, like the wheel of the vehicle, and all sorts of things. You can't serve. So both of them are liable. She should obviously make better choices. She's an adult, make better choices. But at the same time, I mean, I've been on a cruise. I mean, you're either paying or you're swiping with your little card. I mean, so 15 times is crazy, 15 shots. And they just talked about the shots. They didn't even talk about the mixed drink she probably had as well. I mean, they also are extremely negligent in that point in time. And she would have been sloppy. I mean, she would have been inebriated. 15 shots plus whatever mixed drink she was having, I'm sure. She would have been inebriated. And they did that on purpose. And they should have to pay her because that was just completely negligent on their part. Because once you're past the point of blackout, you don't even realize what you're doing. So at that point in time, these people are taking advantage of her.
Trey, you react to videos. What do you think about this video right here? What's your thoughts?
Nah, my initial thought she was drunk in that video because she was just standing behind the lawyer, like ooh, she was so happy to win her case.
Yeah,
but
man. Get her a drink.
Yeah, no, she needs to be held accountable for her actions. She's too old to be falling down the stairs, taking 15 shots, and waking up, don't know what happened. At this point, she's too old for that. I have no sympathy for her. I'm surprised she won that case.
Me
I
too.
feel bad for Carnival
Well,
Cruise. Yeah.
let's paint the picture, Trey. And Kamal, you know you're gonna agree with me. She's a Hispanic woman in Miami, Florida. Majority Hispanic jury. She said women, but she was thinking Hispanic jury. And I'm sorry, they looked out for each other. And I'm telling you, that's the facts of it. I'm not trying to be harsh. I grew up in Miami. That is the facts of it. That is the facts right there.
I also like I'll just jump in. Like, there's a couple things that people may not be seeing here beyond the facts of what happened. I'll get to that in a minute, but I've done quite a few jury trials, and I can tell you, when she was talking about they tried to defame my character, what that means is they tried to impeach her or cross-examine her on things that were unrelated, right? Maybe she had like some stupid like criminal conviction that's old, and that'll backfire. I'm telling you, I've seen cases where like, if the other side is too aggressive or they're mean or like whatever, and the jury, that's going to piss the jury off. And, like nobody's perfect. Then people in the jury aren't perfect. So I'm just telling you, like, when I heard that, I've had cases like that where it's like, it's a marginal case, but then the other side makes it a better case by screwing up so much and being too aggressive. So that's one thing. The second thing is, it's interesting when you think about it because, I looked this up. The jury found that she was 40% negligent. The Carnival was 60. So she's still going to get paid. But, when you're selling someone alcohol, you're selling them something that is going to impair their judgment. So you owe them a duty to make, like that's the situation. It's not like you're making money off of making them impaired. And also, like, if you've got steps that are dark, it's got to look, if it's a bar, you better have some really lit up steps that really, you can see when you're drunk or sober, so like, it's an interesting case because you think like, well, she's an adult, she shouldn't get that drunk. And you're like, well, they gave her a pass where I guess she bought like some drink pass where you can get like 21. So
you can buy a drink package. They're not cheap. And like, let me throw this out here. I'm gonna play another clip when you're done. But when you buy the drink package, you buy like, let's say $400 for like a 3-day cruise. You're only given like, I think 12 or 15 drinks a day. There is a max, but what you have to realize too, though, and when I play the clips, you'll see people are in groups. So let's say we all go on a cruise together. I'll buy you a drink. Like, I'll be like, all right, John, I'll get you this drink. You get this drink. So she could have bought 15, but she's not really drinking all 15, and they know that. So I'm not mad at them for selling her 15 drinks.
Right.
Sorry, the only thing I think this is, she probably did have like a really simple, basic case against them for negligence. But I think why she got so much, like John said, they're probably trying to punish them because they tried to defame her during the litigation, which bad luck, but also, and more importantly, because they have the ability to pay. The number one question you should ever ask before suing anybody, not just a corporation, is are they solvent and can they pay? Because I guarantee you, before they even file the lawsuit, they're going to look up the limits on their policies, on their payout insurance policies. And the lawyer probably saw that this cruise line has a big payout limit. And he's like, this is how much we can get. Let's make them play dirty, and we're going to get a lot of money out of them for something that would normally probably only get you like $50,000. But I mean,
but I want to show everybody how drunk people get. Let me show you what I mean.
I mean, I've been on a weekend Miami Carnival cruise, so for sure.
So Kamal, I could tell you had a lot to say. We let the lawyer go, we let Mia go. What do you think as if you were on the jury?
Can I go after Jeff, because I want to hear his point, because he's a lawyer too. I want to hear both the lawyer's perspective first before I give my perspective, because I got a lot to say, and it ain't gonna be serious. I'm telling y'all that right now.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I just think, as I forget who phrased it this way, but I think, was it you, Nora? Yeah, like, let's be honest. If I were doing the same thing, and let's say I just ended up in a cruise in Detroit and I had an all-black jury, me as a white man, how do you think that's going to pan out? Comparative negligence like that, Like
Andre likes you. If Andre was on your jury, he'd have your corner. It'd be a mistrial.
I like Andre.
Just need one Andre.
Just one Andre, bud.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, just because Carnival was 60% negligent to their finding, I just don't think that that's true. I think more of a 50-50 should have been the split. So basically, if you guys don't know, comparative negligence is the doctrine which assigns a certain amount of fault to one party versus the person who suffered the injury, suffered the damages. And that, like hearing the whole case and everything going on with how many drinks she had and how like irresponsible people are on cruises, I don't think that it should have weighed so heavily in her favor. And I think she got the demographic help.
Wait, also think of Miami. Sorry, just real quick. A lot of people. I've never been on a cruise. I'm in a landlocked state. I mean, I grew up in Georgia, but like a lot of those people in Miami have probably been on cruises before. I don't know if that would have affected it. Anyway, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Well, she is from California, first of all. Second of all, I did want to ask Jeff and John, is this similar to that case of that one chick? Remember, she was in McDonald's and that hot ass coffee like fell in her lap. Would this be considered the same thing, like a negligent type of ordeal, or?
Well, so that's called products liability, I think, is what that was. So, and basically, in that case, the facts were a lot worse. So, products liability is like, are you selling a dangerous and defective product? Slightly different. I mean, it is kind of like similar to negligence, but it is a different doctrine. In that case, they were keeping this coffee right below boiling to save a little bit of money, and like not having to reheat it. So they were taking this big ass risk that they were going to burn the shit out of people. And that woman had like 3rd-degree burns on her groin and stuff. And so like you get a case like that, it's like the Ford Pinto where they're like saving pennies to like risk blowing people up or burning people bad. And that's, I think that's why that case is, that's why I went like that, I think.
I think products liability was the best chance for her in that case, but also could be seen as comparative negligence. If this were in the modern era, comparative negligence is a little bit more modern than, I think, wasn't that like early 2000s McDonald's or something like that?
Yeah, it was around like, I think 03 or something like that.
Makes me feel old because I acutely remember that time period in life.
So, Kamal,
this is the land of lawsuits. People will sue for anything here.
Facts. Kamal, before you go, and I want to show everybody what Carnival is usually like, and then we're going to get Kamal and Gray in here.
Stop. Can you bring it to the top? Hey, one high. Right foot now. Left foot now, y'all.
Carnival was fun when I went.
Come on, Ramon. Turn it out. To the left. Oh, yes. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Reverse. Reverse. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Reverse, reverse. Reverse, reverse. Cha-cha now, y'all. Hey, cha-cha again.
So, Kamal, have you ever been on a cruise? When are you going on your next one?
Yeah, I've been on the cruise. You feel me? That shit was fun. Went with my lady and her fam and shit like that. My first ever cruise. So she popped my cruise cherry. You know what I mean? Second of all, I don't like that clip. You want to know why I don't like that clip? Because those was black folks having fun. They were like, "Oh, that shit ghetto."
Yeah,
you see the psychology and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Come on now.
Why don't we say it's trailer park when it's white people?
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying, John? Like, come on now, like they having fun. They ain't fighting. They ain't throwing chairs. They ain't throwing.
Not yet.
No.
I was just on a Carnival cruise in December. And so it was crazy like that on day one because it's like, the takeoff ceremony or whatever, and everybody swarms the deck. But I have a ton of pictures where the deck is empty. There were so many times it was empty, like it's empty all the time. And honestly, and I went out of the Port of Miami on a weekend cruise, so everybody was getting lit. And to be honest, I felt safe. I felt fine. No fights. Didn't see anything crazy. And half the time, I felt like it was like deserted. And half the people don't even leave the ship. I got off port and went into the Bahamas and was swimming. But half those people just stay on there on the casino. I feel like the casino and the clubs were the most poppin' part. Everybody be in that casino. It was like nobody was anywhere else.
And let me tell y'all something. The first cruise I've been on, I think it was Voyage. It's the only cruise I've been on. You feel me? There are 2 fights, and both the people fighting look like Peter Griffin and maybe yeah. I'm just telling y'all. I'm painting a picture for y'all. So at the end of the day, if first of all, when you got alcohol and you out on sea and shit, you might have some fights. But I don't think most people would do that, because why would you want to be fighting and be in that jail? They throw you in some type of jail under
It's
the
like a fucking brig, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who wants to be in that? You out on sea for hella days and stuff.
No windows and shit.
Yeah. Second of all, I will say this. I know we bashing the woman, but I'm gonna take some fucking notes. Next time, I'm gonna order me like 12 shots and say that I tripped over my foot and I got a bad knee, and then I'm gonna be like, God damn, I need some money now. This the cruiser's fault. Y'all gave me all them drinks, and y'all know damn well I can't handle that liquor like that. Goodness gracious. I love being from California, and Kimberly, I bet you do too. But damn it, Kimberly, I bet you think the same thing as me. Some people from California be on bullshit, and that woman was on horse shit. God damn.
Like, how many? What's the statute of limitations? Because I could sue so many people for getting fucked up drunk like that.
You feel me?
In Florida, it's 7 years. So I wonder where she cruised out of. But I think the reason why the suit was in Miami is because they're based out of Florida. But Carnival's not having a good year, guys. I have one more clip and then we'll wrap up. This was what happened. Like, this is an update on the stepbro that killed his stepsister.
The body of 18-year-old Anna Kepner was discovered under a bed on a cruise ship, wrapped in a blanket and covered in life vests. Now, her 16-year-old stepbrother is being charged with her murder. The U.S. Department of Justice alleges the boy sexually assaulted and intentionally killed Kepner while on a family vacation. Kepner was a cheerleader who was expected to graduate from high school in Florida in May and wanted to join the military, according to her family. Her grandparents, who were also on the cruise, told ABC News that the relationship between Kepner and her step-siblings was a happy one, adding there was no such thing as steps. The Miami-Dade Medical Examiner's Office determined she had died of mechanical asphyxia, which is when an object or a physical force stops someone from breathing. Prosecutors have charged the stepbrother with first-degree murder and aggravated sexual abuse, according to an indictment filed in the Southern District of Florida Federal Court. He has pleaded not guilty and is currently out on bond on the condition that he stay with his uncle in Florida and submit to location monitoring. If convicted, he could face life in prison.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to end it on a sad note.
All right. On the saddest note ever. God damn.
He did that to his sister. Shit.
Jesus.
Gray, what do you think? You've been on a few cruises. Have you ever felt unsafe? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, of course, you saved the worst one for me. I've seen. I was on a cruise in January for my birthday, and I was coming off an elevator. It was a girl that was like so faded, and we was like, "Hey, you should go to your room. Like, you shouldn't be going around here." I mean, because like she could have easily been taken advantage of. So you have to realize there are people there and there are predators there. But like Mia said, it was more family oriented. I wanted the hood experience. I came for the hood experience, you know, playing the stereo, stuff like that. But it was more family oriented. It was not the old Carnival cruise. You know, I've been on a few cruises with a few broads. So, you know, I've seen quite a few different places, had a few different experiences. But what I would say is that people let loose on a cruise because you don't have to drive yourself. Everything's in one place, so people get comfortable. And I do feel like people take advantage of that. In this case, it's extremely sad because it was a family member. She did this to a family. This was done by her stepbrother. It's extremely sad. Condolences to the family. But I don't pay for liquor when I go on a cruise. I drink mouthwash. If you know, you know. That's what I have to say.
Oh, interesting. Well, you know, I learned a new trick. You put food coloring in it. Did you?
So, yeah, you exposed the whole thing? Yeah, but for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, Kimberly, you said you were supposed to talk about this story. We're going to let you do your closing thoughts first and wrap up. Let everybody know what you would have said after this reminder for everyone to hit that notification bell.
I
Go
pulled up
ahead.
the script because I was supposed to talk about this and they changed this a lot on me. So this case is really interesting because they were trying him for the death penalty, but because he committed the murder when he was under the age of 18 in the state where he committed it, they had to lower it to a life sentence. And I'll read to you guys what I would have said on TMZ if they wouldn't have switched up on me 10 times. I really wanted to talk about Eric Swallowswell for Israel, but they wouldn't let me. I don't think they like that script. I believe in the abolition of the death penalty, not because certain violent criminals don't deserve death, but because it gives too much power to the state. People are understandably upset that Anna Kepler's alleged killer is avoiding the death penalty because he was under the age of 18 at the time of the murder, but that's exactly the point, because if we can accept that someone's age can restrict them from the death penalty, it's an admission that the overall death penalty is flawed. Capital punishment is not justice, it's about revenge, and I would argue that life without parole is a stronger form of accountability because it forces someone to face the weight of their actions for the remainder of their life. And then I'm just going to end with Free Palestine because my MacBook Pro, 3 years old, has been glitching this entire time. Free Palestine all day, every day. And it was nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you too.
Trey, thank you for coming. Let everybody know your closing thoughts and what did you think about coming on the new party?
No, I love coming on the little part. It's my first little, not little. I don't mean to call it your pod little, but yeah, my first podcast like panel coming on. I enjoyed it. Everybody had good point of views. I learned a lot from John, stuff like that. I just wanted to mention David just got arrested. That's why I keep looking down at my phone. So I'm getting prepared for my stream in a little minute.
Ooh, David?
Yeah, David. Yeah, the singer. He just got arrested.
Murdered some chick.
Yeah, so this reminded me of that. At the same time, I was looking down at my phone simultaneously. So
Trey, I want to ask you a question too. Why did Charleston White follow you?
Oh, I don't know. Just because I reacted to his video with Drewski, and it did like millions of views. So I guess he collab posted it and just randomly followed me.
Trey, we gotta bring you back
the content.
On the man cave. You'll like the man cave nights. It's all male. It's all men.
Okay, yeah. I'm ready to come back whenever you could just DM me. I'll come back on this. It's cool.
Well, thank you for coming. Where can everybody find you? Are you going live after this to talk about David?
Yeah. I'm gonna be on Twitch. Trey Dung Live, all platforms. I'm gonna be on Twitch going live talking about David and reacting to a couple of videos that I seen earlier.
Yeah, guys, go follow Trey and go to his live because that's really interesting. Definitely support him. John, thank you for coming. What's your closing thoughts?
First of all, no, I appreciate everybody. This was a great time, and yeah, this is a great place to be. So I appreciate you having me on. I think that the first thing, Israel is being held accountable. They're no longer the sacred cow that nobody can criticize. They're accountable for their actions, and their actions are abhorrent. If there's any other ally, we would treat them differently. So I think it's good that the countries are having to be, act in the way that is consistent with international law and with our expectations as a democracy. Number one. Number two, last night in Ukraine, there was another huge missile attack. There've been, hundreds of drones and missiles into hospitals and schools and apartment buildings. And so my prayers are with those people. And my friends over there are still fighting, and, a really shining beacon of light for democracy and people standing up for what's right. And also a very diverse country, both religiously and ethnically. And, I'm just standing with them and also, thinking about our troops overseas in this stupid war. I hope it gets resolved. And it was good to talk to everybody. Just, I believe that we can come together. We can have a democracy that works for the people and not for just purely for corporations or corporate greed or politicians' greed. So this is the way. It's good to be here with you guys. Appreciate you all. It was nice meeting everybody.
John, can I ask you one last question?
Yeah.
Why do you think so many less children have died in Ukraine versus Gaza?
Well, I mean, it's hard. So that's the thing, though. Like in Mariupol, there's like 70,000 new graves. So there's a lot of area that's under occupation. So it's hard to say how many have died in Ukraine. It's a lot, though. I mean, so it's a more condensed area, but there's still a lot of there's a lot of areas that the Russians control now where they've like hidden a lot of stuff. I was in Izium where they had a mass grave with like 600 kids in it. So it's just hard to know how many have fully died. They're both really bad. And we also know, Israel's kind of going to be covering up stuff too under the rubble. But I will say that Ukraine is a much bigger country. Obviously, it's actually the biggest land area country in all of Europe, other than Russia. So maybe that's part of it. I know that in the occupied, I've been to territories Russia has occupied. I mean, I've been in houses where there's torture chambers, and it's so hard to know what they've done, but we know it's bad. And we're going to liberate all that country, and I'm scared to what we will find. But it's and I will say this: people don't recognize this a lot. Is that since in the last 100 years, Russia has killed 10 to 13 million Ukrainians. I've stood on a mass grave with 276,000 Ukrainians that were killed by Stalin. So it's an ongoing thing. Genocide is wrong in Ukraine, but genocide is wrong in Gaza, and Israel's accountable. And they engage in war criminal, straight up Russian behavior, and it's sick and it's disgusting. And we can't stand for it as a country anymore. We got to hold Israel accountable and cut off those weapons. I think right away.
John, I want to bring you back. I want to ask you questions on Ukraine. We're going to have a topic on it probably in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so thank you for coming.
Yeah, sure. I'll come back anytime, guys. Love you all.
Love you too. Thank you for coming. Mia, what's your closing thoughts?
I guess I'll just keep it short and sweet. So everybody, thank you for coming. Super nice to meet you all. I'll try to find you on TikTok and follow. And I want for Israel what they want for Gaza and Lebanon. It's just that simple. I want for them exactly what they want for Gaza and Lebanon.
Damn, that was short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Jeff, what's your closing thoughts?
Well, what's going on? So, despite being Ukrainian, I want to follow up on stuff that John wouldn't say. The real reason why so many kids are killed in Israel is because, or not in Israel, in Gaza, because Israel has no morals. Obviously, Putin is a little bit different. I'm not a fan of Julinsky, but it's just nowhere near the same level of immorality that goes on in Ukraine and Russia versus Israel. And if I just keep going, the stream will probably end. So I'll just stop there.
Yeah, for sure. We got to bring him on a night you're on, Jeff, because it'd be a good discussion to have. I didn't know you were Ukrainian. We learned something new tonight.
Look, Nora, my grandma came. So my dad was a lot older. My dad and mom had a 21-year age gap, but my grandma came over before the Bolshevik Revolution. Actually, she escaped, and so thankful for that. But otherwise, I'm a crazy Ukrainian who supports Putin because he stands on traditional values and nowhere near the same as Trump and immorality involved.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely got to have. Maybe we'll have this debate. Maybe that's the next debate. I'm just kidding. Maybe we'll see. Kamal, guess what?
What's cracking?
Andre was interviewed. They mentioned the black fatigue debate with him on the underbelly.
Man, I ain't watching that shit. I know what he gonna say. I don't be wanting to watch people shit. I know what they gonna say out their goddamn mouth already.
Tell everybody about your closing thoughts. And I know I think they want to hear the story about when you were on Fatty's panel. I know I said we'll talk about it on the live.
Oh yeah, I'll tell y'all a little bit. But first, appreciate everybody on the panel. You feel me? Thank you to our guests, John and Trey. Appreciate y'all. If y'all could put y'all handles of y'all like TikToks and Twitter handles in the private chat, bro, so I can follow y'all. You feel me? And appreciate everybody on the panel. Y'all go check out Jeff, Kimberly, Mia. You feel me? Nora and Gray. Y'all some fucking all stars. Y'all on TMZ and shit. God damn. Hold on. Let me get y'all air horn. Anyway, y'all go hit the notification bell for the new party so y'all know when we go live and stuff like that. Also, if y'all want to come over to my end to follow me on my channel, Kamal Johnson. Y'all see it right there. There it goes. Kamal Johnson. Hit your bro with a sub. You feel me? Yeah, we talked about a plethora of things. This was great. Learned some things. First of all, damn MAGA, man, y'all imploding like a mug. God damn. Trump calling his own cronies low IQ and shit, and then dressing up allegedly as Jesus. He said he was a doctor, but come on, bro, throw on a stethoscope around your neck. You feel me? That would have debunked everything. Second of all, I'm gonna take notes from drunken senorita. Yo, I'm gonna say that I went on a cruise and got 12 drinks handed to me, and I didn't know my name was Kamal. I'm gonna just say my name was Jack-o'-lantern. And I'm gonna just be like, y'all owe me fucking money, because at this point, y'all shouldn't have served me them drinks. I didn't know where the hell I was at. Yeah, shout out to the chat too. Y'all is very tame today. You feel me? And yeah, y'all have a great weekend, and everybody else on the panel and stuff have a great weekend and shit. And yeah, I ain't got much more to say. Oh, y'all did want to hear about the fatty shit. I know y'all don't want to talk about Israel shit like that, but I'm gonna talk about it because it was a motherfucker on the panel that literally said they was a Zionist.
What's his name? Did you get his name so we can bring him on the new party?
Yeah, Chaotic Truth.
Okay,
He's a fucking comedian.
We're gonna need to get him on the new party. Keep going.
Yeah, he funny as hell. You feel me? Now his lineage is up for question. He'd be like, "I'm American." I'm like, "Nigga, your eyes seem Nigerian." All right. He one of these. He one of those. But he was like, "I'm a full-blown Zionist, and he don't fuck with Islam at all." Like, so yeah, you gotta get Burr on the show. Chaotic Truth. You feel me? He is hilarious. But at the same time, I think he's one of those MAGA coons. But anyway, also shout out to Fatty. His panels. I told him straight up, bro, you the black Jerry Springer of the digital streets at this point. Because every time I'm on his panels, these niggas don't know how to debate at all. I'm telling y'all right now. Like, I done seen middle schoolers have better communication than these mother effers. I'll tell you this. I'm so glad I'm apolitical. Yeah. I ain't knocking if you for a certain party and that party is doing what you wanted to do and you ain't like a maniac like some of the people that was on the damn panel, and kudos to y'all, but damn it, like 80% of the people that was on the panel, boy, they lost some marbles. I'll tell you that much. And it was only 8 of us on the panel, so y'all do the math. But yeah, I had to tell y'all the Fatty story. I was on this panel earlier. Shout out to Fatty. No problems with Fatty. Even though at the end of the day, Fatty was trying to shit on America. And I was like, nigga, you keep shit on America, I'm gonna get on your Portugal shit. You feel me? But shout out to Fatty, man. You feel me? He was, but yeah, I ain't got much else to say. Everybody else y'all have a great weekend, and hit that notification bell for the new party so you know when we go live.
Thank you, Kamal. Gray, what's your closing thoughts?
Thank you, John and Trey, for coming on. Trey, thank you for dropping that news about DAV, because that's going to be our next topic, too. We've been following that case closely. We talked about a man cave, so we'll be talking about that again on Monday. Thank you to the cast. As far as what's going on in the Middle East, I hope we get to some conclusion. I don't know what's going to happen. Carnival Cruise Line, I'm almost at a gold membership, so I'll be back, and I won't sue you guys. And as far as Pulp Fiction, if Hegseth wants to quote movie quotes, hey, at least he's doing something. Like we always say on a new party, always vote.
Always vote, guys. And go support Andre Williams. He was on the Underbelly, and they gave us a shout out without giving us a shout out, but it's okay. They talked about our Black Fatigue debate. And if you guys are a fan of our debates, please come back this Sunday night. Yours truly, Gray Mars, will be debating should religion be in schools and education. He will be debating our resident pastor, Alton, a good friend of the show. So that should be good, guys. Of course, I'm sure you can guess what side liberal Democrat Gray is on. Just throwing that out there. But anyways, nevertheless, we are the new party, guys. For those of you watching, we have a team of people. Our friend 85 Slim filmed a video. We got to be there. So if you're watching, please hit the like button. We are going to world premiere his music video. This is what I'm giving my closing thoughts up for. So here we go.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's rock this shit. Let's rock it, baby. You can't stop this. Let's go. Another strictly hip hop this. We dropping this. You can't knock this. Cause you know we got this shit.
wanna make fat tracks. Take them stacks, break them backs. Wanna take pounds of trees to make it and back. What you making of that? Slim Chance, I wanna take the cake and break in case the Jakes wanna chase me. I wanna go crazy. Wanna see this crowd getting so loud. I wanna see you straight wild. Wanna hear you inhale a flame. Wanna hear you all hail my name. Slim Chance, I be the blame. I brought the avalanche to Maine. I wanna see my niggas traveling in Spain. Wanna meet niggas who make change over traveling with that cocaine. Oh man. Don't try to come up in the domain and bring that beef knowing we low, man. You get hit up with them flicks, try to stop my shit because you can't knock this shit. Hell, yo, let's go, let's rock this shit. You can't knock this shit. Another 85, yeah. We got this shit. It's hip hop in this bitch, cause you know we got this shit. My nigga, let's rock this hit. Another 85, yeah. And you can. And there's a lot of player hating going on. And there's a lot of player faking going on. But there ain't much we can do. Stay true to the game. Keep bringing home the bacon for the fam and the crew. Fuck the fame. If it comes, it comes. I promise my little girl, I won't change. I'ma stay the same. Record labels trying to get chance to change the lane. Even if they offer the meal, it still ain't enough change. Cause I'm real. It's the way I walk, it's the way I talk, it's the way I chill. Hey yo, that's just the way I feel. Thinking I'ma sell out just to pay my bills. Back off, son, must be smoking them krills. For you hating ass lame niggas, you know the deal. 85 OG in the hill. Bitches call me Slim, haters call me him. 85 until. You can't knock this. Another 85 head. We got this shit, and you can't stop this shit. Another 85 head. We got this shit. You can't knock this shit. It's hip hop in this bitch. We got this shit, and you can't knock this shit. Everybody be asking me, yo, Slim, what the 85 stand for? Better look it up. 1785, baby, Bronx, New York. Bunch of niggas grew up there. We still know each other for a long time. Years to come. Hip hop, baby.